Good morning. Presentation comes to you again from IRED, Institute of Real Estate Education and Entrepreneurship Development. I am Major General Satish Sahijpal, and today's subject that I have chosen to discuss with you is on public-private partnership projects. Public-private partnership, as the name itself would suggest, is the partnership that is drawn out between the public, which is represented by the government of the land, and the private. Private are the contractors who are bidding to execute the project. The partnership actually is signified by a comprehensive contract that is drawn out between the two parties, that is the public and the private, based on which the entire project is executed. In the recent times, with the fast and the rapid developing countries, it was found that all projects cannot be handled by the government because of the inadequate funds, because of not the matching and the compatible know-how, the technical expertise, wherein they have to co-opt the private sector, which will actually bring to the table their share of funds, the know-how, the technical expertise to execute the project. The partnership, which as we have just decided, is drawn out in the form of a contract between the people that is represented by the government and the private players, which are the contractors who are going to be executing the project. The contract is drawn out keeping in mind the strengths of both the sides is kept in mind while drawing out the contract, and the risk distribution is carried out in such a way that both the sides actually end up in a win-win situation. The government does not have all the funds which are required. The government most of the time does not have the expertise, the innovation, the design capability, which comes from the private partner, and the private partner has its limitation in the form of the land, the rules and regulations, which may otherwise restrict or slow the project down. That part is brought to the table by the government agency. In the late last century, many countries, developing and the developed countries, have actually resorted to the PPP form of executing the projects. And these projects are like in India, they are in the form of highways, they are in the form of public services, they are in the form of removal of the slums, upgrading the city skyline, and various other mega projects which actually are, in terms of time, they are long-lasting. The private sector then executes the project, it runs the project, and at a given time, it either continues to manage the project or it then hands over to the government. These are coming in different forms: build, operate, transfer, design, build, operate, transfer, design, build and maintain, and so on. There are different forms wherein the responsibilities by the two sides. In the recent past, Cochin International project is the first project under the PPP contract, the first project in the world actually, which is run completely on the solar energy system. Recently, many other airports where the renovation was required to bring them up to the international level have actually been designed, executed, and they are being maintained by the private players. And in the end, based on the contract, the profits or the remunerations are distributed between the government and the private players in accordance with the contract. The risk allocation is carried out in such a way that the government manages its own share of their strength areas, and the private players are enabled to handle the aspects of the areas in which they have the strength. I was looking at one of these mock interviews of the IAS, and one of the examinees was asked, and what do you know about the PPP? And that's the time I realized that public-private partnership projects are something that everybody who is even remotely connected with the real estate, and that's the time I decided that I should come up with this presentation and share it with all of you. I hope during the course of this interaction or this presentation, most of you would have understand what this PPP form of executing projects it means, what it signifies, and what kind of future it holds. With that, let me conclude by saying thank you and have a nice day.